Day number 7. But I want to talk about the rest day. I want to talk about the rest day and also resting in power to George, Killer George. They call him Killer George. George Foreman. Rest in power. So I am grateful and thankful. The fights that I came up seeing, George Foreman, what's the other guy? Marvelous, Marvin Hagler. So many great fighters, that I came up seeing, who was nice in the ring. Muhammad Ali, and yeah, these were some great boxers. Great boxers. So the passing of Muhammad Ali, him going through that brain situation, to also seeing, recently George Foreman passing away. There's things that I know about him now that I didn't even know, while he was alive. Shout out to the fitness preacher who had a chance to be able to work with his son down at the studio in Manhattan. However, wanted to talk about, I didn't even know George Foreman was a killer in the ring. I heard him say with his own mouthpiece, he thought I was coming in at a boxing. I was trying to shut some people up. So he said, "Yo, I came in the ring to not just do my thing, but I came in there to kill. I came in there to try to, because I guess there was a lot of talk about his career and other people who was boxing, and they might have, felt that they was better, So he came in there on a mission. He came on there. Listen, I know he was a believer, but he was coming in there. He was coming there with, to be able to, put you down. We see George Foreman had a massive build. Even when I read about his profession for his job, I was like, wow. And then so like I said, George Foreman can generate a lot of power, although he had a lot more mass than a lot of other boxers that he fought. He was in a heavyweight division, to my knowledge. And once again, want to say RIP to Big George, and also send prayers to the family. Once again, my fitness fam had the chance to be able to go down there and network with the Foreman legacy, with the Foreman movement, because they had a few boxing gyms. Peace and love, what's going down? So once again, want to thank everybody for coming on today. We talking about George. We talking about the resting of George, and also on this Sabbath rest day, I got a little conversation with you about that too. So once again, Big George Foreman is no longer with us. Once again, I didn't even know that he said I came to the ring to kill. I didn't come. He thought I was coming for just a boxing match. She said I was coming to shut some people up. He said, if I put somebody down, and that's what mentality he came with. Listen, George wasn't playing. He wasn't coming for no tag football. He said, no, I'm coming with the hardcore. Yeah, we like a raw, full contact. And it might go past the mat. I might put you 6 feet deep. That's what he was coming with. George Foreman wasn't playing. He was on a mission. It's no longer here. And sacrifices had to be made from George Foreman, to even Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was great as well, even though, I didn't like to hear that he had that brain situation, However, come on, y'all know what he did. Y'all know what he did for fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. So, like I said, they had their own approaches, but they had to turn things up. Why? Because Muhammad Ali, although he was Muslim and George Foreman was Christian, they was on a mission. Muhammad Ali, man, he did some stuff too, where he was talking about the trials in the hood, what I'm saying, the struggles, what I'm saying, because the people was treated, was being mistreated, used and abused. He gave up his belt and all that. So take my hat off to Muhammad Ali, because listen, you already know what it be. Listen, he made a statement, very powerful statement, even to the point where he was willing to do time. Here, y'all can take your belt. I'm not going to fight for y'all. Freak all that. I ain't going to fight for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I go to prison. He made a statement. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. His contributions to the martial arts and to his martial arts. Boxing is martial, and also his people. So, George Foreman, keep your prayers for him and his family. For George Foreman's family. And I'm just grateful for the contributions that he made, to the boxing. It's still hard to believe, but it's a time for everything. The Bible tells us that. It's a time for this, time for that. It's a time to be peaceful. It's a time to bring that sword. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the devil is out here trying to use and abuse people. Especially when, the enemy is out here trying to confuse people. So this is why we also got to talk about the next one. Yeah. Let me look at some of these comments. Hey, what's going on, Herman? Peace. Luke, what up? Thank y'all for coming in today. So listen, how many of y'all knew that George Foreman transitioned? How many of y'all knew that George Foreman transitioned? Let me put some divine images up. Let me put some images up. Show George Foreman if y'all never seen him before. I can't assume everybody. Oh, there you go, right there. I can't assume everybody saw him before, so shout out to Big George. Shout out to Big George. Let me change another one. All right. Yeah, man. George Foreman. Here we go. Shout out to Big George. No longer with us. George Foreman. I know it ain't coming out right, but anyway. I think I better stay on the first one. Shout out to Big George Foreman, who no longer with us,
I'm fully
and
right now.
It's so important for us to be able to respect and love on people while they're here. I'm grateful that George Foreman also came out with a workout video. He did a workout video. I was studying about marketing, and I wound up coming in contact with one of his Walking with George videos, or Boxing with George. Yeah, Boxing with George videos. So it's cool that he did a lot of different things. He did his grill. He had a lot of other products up. Shout out to Big George. One of his most famous fight that I like was the one with him and definitely Ali. Yeah, that was a good fight. And also to see him utilizing the 52 blocks was another great thing that I like seeing George doing it. Big George. When you get a chance, I want y'all to let me know what was your favorite fight with George Foreman. Let me know what was one of your best fights, one or two fights that you like with George Foreman. Okay? Y'all let me know when you get a chance. So once again, y'all, Big George is no longer with us. So let's keep him in prayer. And once again, we also talking about the rest day. Let's talk about the rest day. Well, over the years that I've been doing some studying, I had to talk about this rest day, because as I study about days, Saturday, Sunday, and I study about how the knowledge also connects to brothers and sisters in Kemet, I had to pray about this. Because at one time I used to go to church a lot on Sunday. We're talking about the rest day, y'all. Yes, we're talking about the rest day. And I used to go to church on a rest day, which was, I was always told was on, what was on Saturday. I was told was always on Saturday. Sunday. And if you didn't know, like me, ages of 1 to 7, you just go along with the what's with how you got to do it and how they want you to do it. So now that I'm doing the Sabbath rest day on Saturday, and I realized this is how it always was, and Jesus Christ didn't change it. Did it have me asking a question? What else has been changed and rearranged that we don't know about? It had me asking that question. What else has been changed and rearranged that sometimes we don't get to talk about, or some people just, that's not important, So, yes, I definitely wanted to ask y'all, and there's no judging thing, but did you guys know that Jesus Christ didn't change that? Almighty God didn't say to do it. That was somebody else who put that in motion. And it's not saying that you should not go, but the Bible say, come out of her. Come out of her. Yes, come out of her. So I like the fact that I could get together with other believers. And it's not about the day. I know it's all about the heart. It's not just about the day. It's all about the heart. Some people say, oh, do it on Sunday. Other people that keep the Sabbath rest, Sabbath keepers, they do it on Saturday. You got other people that say, oh, do it every day. Listen, at the end of the day, you better know for yourself. That's all I try to encourage people. You ain't got to listen to me, but know for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to get a relationship. Get a relationship with God. You ain't got to be at the mercy of religion. And I say that because I'm about the truth. I'm about love. And sometimes you got to bring up hard topics. So I want to know, you come into any knowledge about the rest day? What are your thoughts on the rest day? Once again, for many years, I did it on Sunday. I served on Sunday, and then the Lord put in my heart, get on that Sabbath rest. And I was so used to doing my own thing, or what I thought was right. And wow. So now when I did some more digging, some more remembering, then I realized that, wow, there was a lot going on. and this thing called religion. There's a lot of thing going on in the world of religion. And we got to make sure that we keep praying for direction, because this is all about divine protection, And I'm not saying that it's not good to go. Come on. You got to get saved, But you got to know how to fortify your mind and have that protection on you too. This is now where you're talking about the precepts, the precepts, the statutes and the commandments of God, and not the ones of men. No, I'm not saying that you got to be at the mercy of commandments of men, but we got to know what the word say and execute. How many years that we knew the word was saying something about our diet, but we just got caught up in our fleshly habits. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like the way that tastes, even though I know the Bible say that. So this is the time and the hour, y'all, because we got to be powered up. That's all I'm trying to say. Powered up. No slowing down. No going down. Challenges will come, but we got to make sure that we can listen. Jesus Christ said it. It's finished. We got to get the job done while we're here. Wake people up, because some people don't know. And like I said, I'm not stepping on nobody's toes. I can't. But I could talk about it, because if it happened, it happened. And once again, there's some more important things than just worrying about the day. I know that. Because when I see all that's been added, when the Romans and the Greeks been changing, and even the scribes changing and rearranging things, that's why I just say know your word. Know your word. Get in there. Come on. Get the line by line, precept by precept. Know what to say so that you can execute. All right? Knowledge is not enough. Knowledge ain't enough without application. So I just wanted to let you know about that on the Sabbath rest day. Thank y'all for coming in. Gonna get ready, go ahead and get ready to teach the youth. I thank y'all for coming in. Let me see the comments real quick. See some of these comments. Yeah, so once again, I thank y'all for coming in to get over here to another class, 923. I was going to try to get a quick workout in, so see if I could get it in real quick. Thank y'all for your comments. Let me just check. John Jones. Okay. John Jones. John Jones. Okay, you like John Jones? I don't understand the question. Okay. Herman. I don't know any boxers named Herman. Okay, well, I'm gonna check out that video. Dinner Herman? Or y'all were talking to each other? Okay, so I think somebody like John Jones. All right, thank you. And I want to know what's the best fight that you like also with George Foreman. You know, what one or two fights that you like the most? Please put that in the comment below and let it flow. Once again, y'all have a blessed, awesome day. This is the day that the Lord has made. All right? So, however you giving up, just to recap, listen, as long as you do the word, you know, I got to respect you. Whether you're doing Sunday or Saturday, I got to respect the fact that you are a doer of the word, studying your word day and night. Come on, it ain't no fight. I got to respect that because some people ain't doing nothing, you know? So I got to thank you. And then I read in the scripture about condemnation, you know, and it connects to that faith situation, the people not believing. You know, if you don't believe, how can you achieve more? You can't do, listen, you can't do everything by yourself. You need help, you know? Some people have a different operation, ideology. But listen, you got to make a choice. This is all about life and death. And if what you are doing right now is not working for you, come on. To make things work is sometimes you got to renew the mind for transformation. That's what I learned the hard way. Renew your mind for transformation. You know, you change up your mind, you change up how you move, how you eat, how you going to do this, how you going to do that. You know what? Let me start working out for 5-10 minutes instead of doing nothing and just eat up everything around me. I'm trying to tell you, I've been there. You know, I work with people who you know, who've been in who gain more than me. So I kind of know a few things, and I'm grateful that I'm learning more. Commandments. Yeah, commandments. Yep. It's all about those commandments. You know that. Yep. Once again, that rest day. That rest day is a powerful day. You take time out, just you and the Lord, shut things down. Now, I read there was a lot of businesses. I'm over here in front of a lot of businesses. And I read that, wow, this is so deep because there are certain businesses that don't even take a day off. You know? They'd rather just go make that bread. And then there were other businesses also who were able to, what? They said, I'm shutting it down. You know? And I'm actually going to get more blessings for disrespecting what the commandment said. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Remember the Sabbath day. Almost like people was going to forget. Keep it holy. Know what I mean? Yeah, I'm working on not saying that. So once again, y'all, give your prayers up for the Foreman family. Make sure you remember the Sabbath rest. There you go, yes. Feeling is the secret. That's right. And also just know what he said, because there's a lot of things that he said that we need to keep in our head. You know, keep in our heart. That's the main operation. As you know what it words say, so when somebody try to come with something else, just like they try to come at Christ, you know, he hit him with the scripture. Because he knew the scripture. If he didn't know, then he would have been caught up by the trickster. And we know what the trickster is doing. He's turning everything around, telling people this, telling people that, you know, using fear. And also the other one is, I forgot the other name for it. Using fear, basically that fear tactic. And that same tactic that Napoleon Hill talked about in his book. And this is the book called Think and Grow Rich. You know, I like to talk about the mind. He talked about how the two that you need to be mindful of is fear, drugs, and narcotics. And you know, they use on a lot of these different things today in many different ways. Fear and also drugs and narcotics. I'm trying to tell you. Watch what you put in your temple. That's how I'm working on fasting from a lot of different foods. A lot of foods I got out of my I don't even want to use the word diet because it's not about dying, you know. And my nutrition, I'm gonna use that because it's all about getting the right nutrients in you. Let me just show you a quick image. Some people don't even know when they look at something like this. They don't know. Oh yeah, I ain't supposed to be eating those certain things on here. You ain't supposed to be eating. You know, you would. You know, at one time I thought everything on here was good too. Now I'm starting to knock things out. Like, you know, we learned about the broccoli. We learned about the corn. It tastes good, but it ain't really giving you nothing. Okay. Then we also got to talk about the celery. You know, we got to talk about watching them out for them carrots. Watching out for all them murder burgers. If you still eating White Castle, come on, get out of that castle. That ain't. Come on, that ain't the King's Castle. So why you in White Castle? We look for somebody white. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make a round. God is seeing them with my own. Yeah. Wow. You eat everything you see. Even if you see an alligator, you're gonna eat the alligator. If they giving free alligator burgers. Let me tell you what I learned from study and memory. There are certain things that you eat can help you get out of school faster. There are certain things that you can eat that actually will slow your mind down. Let me give you the two at the top of the list. You can go, if you need the reference, I'll give it to you. Turkey is number 2. And number 1 is the pig, you dig? Number 1. Without talking about what the scriptures say about it. You know? Yeah, I know. And you spell dog backwards, I know what you get. That's why this is all about, you know, making sure we get the spelling right and we also get the knowledge right. We can't be eating this and we can't be eating scraps. We can't eat like the world. You know, this is all about living. So we can't, listen, we can't live to eat. We got to eat to live. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, those are two different situations, scenarios. One person just eating everything in sight. Give me that. I don't care what it is. Give it to me. It's free. Give it to me. You know? Even when I want to drink too much soda, I'm going to leave it on me. You don't need that soda because even though it's Pepsi, Coke, you know, it ain't no joke that they have a mission. And the mission is to keep you addicted to it. And if it's not improving your health, then that means slowly it's going another way. Oh, I like the taste. Well, it ain't about the taste. You don't want to waste your health. So now you got to say, you know what? I love you, self. So I'm going to choose life-giving foods for self. You know? And some people got to learn the hard way, definitely. But we should be doing the hard right versus the easy wrong. So that we can stay strong. You never know when a person might try to run up on you. And if you don't keep your health right, your fit levels right, come on. How you going to be combat ready? I'm trying to tell you. So keep your youth, keep your energy. You know what I'm saying? This affects your money. Okay? Health is wealth and movement is medicine. All right? Thank y'all so much for sharing. Got to get ready to go teach this class. Y'all have an awesome Sabbath rest day. And don't forget, keep George Foreman's family in prayer. Peace and blessings. Yes, you got to think big. You dig? You got to think big. That's right. God wants us to think bigger and better. That's right. And that goes along with how we eat too. That's right. Big thinking. And we big and strong. That's right. That's right. Getting stronger. Getting the money longer. Definitely. Not letting yourself go and then, you know, You can't even get out the bed. No, that's not our portion. The Bible's clear about gluttony. And I'm trying to tell you because I had let myself go. That's why I'm getting my stomach back in shape now. You know, in better shape now. In better shape now. See, I got to watch my wordplay. In better shape. You know, and respect the laws. This is just the laws of God. You eat right, you're going to, listen, you're going to think right. You're going to feel right. Listen, your food affects your mood at the end of the day. Let me get over here, y'all. Peace. Let me go teach this class. Thank y'all for watching.